The story of 19-year-old Jay Slater's disappearance in Tenerife has gripped Britain for months. For his mother, Debbie Duncan, the nightmare has been one without end, a twisting path of hope, despair, rumors, and unanswered questions. Yet, as she prepared to escort her son's body back to the UK, she revealed that she had been given a harrowing warning about her boy long before his tragic final journey home. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This warning, she claims, still echoes in her mind, a chilling premonition that has made every step since feel like something out of a cruel prophecy. A mother's intuition. Debbie Duncan has always said she had a gut feeling that Jay's holiday in Tenerife would not end the way he planned. "I don't know why," she confided to relatives weeks earlier, "but something doesn't sit right." Jay, a cheeky and energetic apprentice bricklayer from Lancashire, was supposed to be enjoying a carefree trip. He had gone with friends to the island's buzzing clubs and beach parties, eager for his first proper holiday away from home. Photos he sent his mum showed him smiling in the sun, arms draped around his mates, living the youth she had always wanted him to experience. But beneath the laughter, Debbie admitted she felt an unease she couldn't shake. Her warning wasn't about flights or safety at sea. It was about people, strangers. "Be careful who you trust, Jay," she messaged him late one night. "Not everyone's your friend out there." Jay replied with his trademark humor, "Chill, Mum. I'm not stupid." It was the last time he would sound so relaxed. The day everything changed. On June 17th, Jay was last seen near a rural Airbnb in Masca, far away from the clubs of Los Cristianos where he had been partying. Phone records placed him wandering down dangerous mountain roads, calling friends and sending panicked messages that he was lost, thirsty, and had no water. The official search lasted more than 2 weeks. Helicopters hovered above jagged cliffs. Volunteers combed dusty ravines. Sniffer dogs scoured abandoned farms. But Jay never came home. When the Spanish Guardia Civil finally told Debbie that remains believed to be her son had been discovered, her world collapsed. Yet even then, officials refused to give her clarity. Rumors swirled. Had Jay been chased? Was he running from someone? Or was it a tragic accident, the result of dehydration and disorientation? For Debbie, the harrowing warning she had once whispered in worry now sounded like a curse. Harassment and silence. As if grief weren't enough, Debbie found herself tormented by internet sleuths, trolls, and conspiracy theorists. Some accused her of hiding the truth. Others mocked her appeals for help and fundraising efforts. One anonymous caller left her a voicemail saying, "You were warned, and you didn't listen." Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That phrase, "you were warned," has haunted her. She told close family that, weeks before Jay's trip, she had received another unsettling message. A neighbor she barely knew pulled her aside and said, "Keep a close eye on him when he goes abroad. Tenerife isn't always what people think it is." Debbie brushed it off at the time. Now, replaying it in her mind, she wonders, did someone know something? Or was it just an eerie coincidence? The agony of waiting. For over 2 months, Jay's body remained in Tenerife while paperwork, legal wrangling, and forensic examinations delayed his return. Each day, Debbie said, felt like being stuck in the cruelest limbo. "I couldn't grieve properly," she admitted. "I couldn't lay him to rest. I couldn't even hold his hand." During this waiting period, she returned to the mountain roads where Jay was last tracked, clutching a shirt of his in her hands. Locals remembered her wandering the trails, whispering his name, desperate for a sign. "A mother never gives up," she said. But she also admitted she had begun to dream of him, vivid, unsettling dreams in which Jay reached out to her but warned her not to come closer. One dream replayed over and over, Jay shouting across a ravine, "Mom, don't trust them." She woke each time in a sweat. The harrowing warning revisited. In interviews with close friends, Debbie revealed the full weight of the warning she had received. Weeks before Jay left for Tenerife, a relative of a family friend had supposedly told her, "Something bad will happen to Jay if he goes. I don't know what, but I can feel it. Please tell him not to." Debbie didn't repeat it to Jay. She didn't want to frighten him or appear controlling. But now, as she made preparations for the journey to repatriate his body, those words replayed louder than ever. The final journey home. When Spanish officials finally released Jay's remains, Debbie traveled with a small group of family and supporters. At Tenerife Airport, she watched the casket, draped in a simple white covering, being loaded into the plane's cargo hold. It didn't feel real, she later confessed. How can my cheeky boy, who laughed at everything, fit inside something so cold and final? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The flight home was silent. Debbie sat with her hands pressed together, as if in prayer, staring out of the window at the endless clouds. Each bump of turbulence felt like her heart lurching. She replayed the warning yet again. She thought about the neighbor, the anonymous caller, and the dreams. They all told me something, she said. But what good is a warning if you can't change fate? The return to the UK. When the plane landed at Manchester Airport, Debbie broke down. Police officers and funeral staff guided her gently, but she felt her legs buckle. The moment she had dreaded had arrived. Her son was home, but not alive. As the casket was carried out, mourners gathered in silence. Some held flowers. Others clutched photographs of Jay in his football kit, grinning like the teenager he was. Debbie placed her hand on the wood, whispering, "You're safe now, son. You're home." Yet, even in that moment of heartbreaking closure, the warning still gnawed at her. What if she had acted differently? What if she had told him not to go? What if? The family's private fears. Relatives say Debbie sometimes wonders aloud whether Jay's death was truly an accident. She points to his final frantic phone calls, the strange detour to an Airbnb with people he had only just met, and the silence that followed. "They told me he wandered off and collapsed," she said. "But my gut, the same gut that gave me that warning, keeps saying otherwise." She also fears the trolls were not just cruel strangers, but people who knew more than they let on. Why else, she asks, would they taunt her with phrases like "you were warned"? A community in mourning. Back in Lancashire, the community rallied around Debbie. Candlelit vigils lit up the streets. Murals of Jay appeared on walls. Football teammates walked onto the pitch with his shirt, holding it high for the crowd to see. At one gathering, Debbie spoke through tears. Every mother fears losing a child. But to lose one like this, so far away, so young, with so many questions, it feels unbearable. And to think I had a warning, but couldn't protect him, that's something I'll carry forever. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Searching for peace. Debbie has now turned her focus to campaigning for improved support for families of missing persons abroad. She has spoken to MPs, urging them to push for better communication with foreign police forces and quicker repatriation processes. "I don't want another mother sitting in limbo for months," she said. "I don't want anyone else to live with a warning they couldn't act on." She also keeps a journal, writing down every dream, every strange phone call, every conversation she had before Jay's death. "It helps me make sense of things," she explained. Even if the warning was just a coincidence, writing it down gives it meaning. A legacy of love. As plans for Jay's funeral take shape, Debbie hopes the service will reflect his bright spirit. His favorite music will play. Friends will share stories of his humor. Balloons will be released into the sky, each carrying a handwritten note from loved ones. "I want people to remember the joy he brought," Debbie said. Not the cruelty of how he was taken. But privately, she admits the warning still shadows her. "If I'd stopped him, would he still be here?" she asks. No one can answer. Conclusion: a mother's burden. For Debbie Duncan, the journey of grief is not just about saying goodbye. It is about living with the weight of a warning. The kind of haunting message that, true or not, makes her question every decision she made as a mother. As Jay is finally laid to rest in his hometown, his mother's words echo through the silence. "I was given a warning. I just never thought it would come true." And so the story of Jay Slater is not just about a teenager lost in the mountains of Tenerife. It is about the chilling intersection of fate, fear, and maternal instinct, a reminder that sometimes the most harrowing part of loss is not just the death itself, but the unbearable thought that maybe, somehow, it could have been stopped. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.